is a very special guest. Kim Vopni is the CEO and founder of Pelvic Wellness Inc. She's the author of Prepare to Push, and she's here today to talk about the launch of her new program. Welcome to the show, Kim.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, so your online program is the Kegel Mojo Online Fitness Program.
Yes, it's an online pelvic floor fitness program.
So when was it launched, and tell us about the program?
Yeah, I launched about a month and a half ago, and it's something that has lived in my head for probably 2 or 3 years, and I just had other things that I was focusing on, and I had the time, and it was time to get it out and into the world so it could start helping women, because it's something, pelvic floor fitness is something that's not easy for people to admit they need, or they're not sure where to look. And putting it into an online program, it basically takes what women learn when they work with me one-on-one and puts it into a platform that they can access anywhere, anytime. And also, if somebody's feeling uncomfortable or maybe ashamed or embarrassed, they can just purchase it and they have it and nobody needs to know.
So this program is needed.
Absolutely. It's I've been working in the world of pelvic floor health for, really since the birth of my first son, which was 14 years ago. And at the time, social media wasn't really around, so it was difficult to find who was talking about what anywhere in the world. And in the last 3 to 5 years or so, there's been a huge spike in awareness. And I don't know if now, because I work in it and because the awareness has increased, I see that it's more common, or if it's just been that common all along. So it's hard to say what has come first, but it's definitely something that's on the rise. Again, maybe it's because I'm more aware of it and more people are talking, but over 50% of women have some degree of organ prolapse, where their organs are starting to shift out of their proper position. 1 in 3 women have some sort of incontinence, which is when you leak, when you laugh or cough or sneeze, or urge incontinence, when you feel like you can't make it to the bathroom in time. And a lot of the issues that women deal with or suffer with or try to hide and kind of cope with are very treatable. And they think it's normal because they're older or because they've had children, but they're not normal. They're very, very common, but they're also incredibly treatable. And if women know about it earlier than later, there's things they can do to prevent it happening in the first place. So That's kind of what I really want to get out. I love preventive mindset, and I'm hoping that women don't wait until there is a problem. Mind you, it's there if they do, but if more people take a proactive approach to their health and their pelvic health, it will change many aspects of their lives.
Right, and it's getting more awareness out there, and also you are a pioneer, I would say. You are the vagina coach, and it's becoming more mainstream.
Vagina is actually one of the most disliked words in the English vocabulary. And I'm trying to change that, because it's a part of the body that we need to talk about and we need to normalize. And pelvic floor coach, it doesn't resonate as much because not everybody knows what the pelvic floor is, but pretty much everybody has heard the word vagina. So at least I'm bringing the attention to the part of the body that I'm trying to get women to pay attention to.
People look at your shirt and they think, wow, tell me more.
Yes, exactly. It instigates the conversation. It brings people to where I want them to be thinking. They need to incorporate their pelvic health in their day. So let's think about it. Let's think about our vaginas.
And you have in your hand the pelvic.
I've got a pelvis model here. So in here we have the uterus, and we have the bladder, which doesn't really look like a blue spiky ball. And then we have the rectum behind. And the muscles underneath play a role in supporting and lifting and holding them in place. And wouldn't it be amazing if we didn't have to wear pads and mask it? Wouldn't it be amazing if that leak didn't happen in the first place? Wouldn't it be amazing if we enjoyed sex again, and how that would change all the other aspects of our life?
Yes, and it's never too late. It's better to recognize there is a problem.
It should be standard of care that women receive pelvic health physiotherapy, and especially women who are pregnant and who have given birth. It should be standard of care, and it should be covered by the government, in my opinion, because it is something that we need to pay out of pocket for. And women who are really good at putting themselves last will take care of everyone else, and then that cost is something they're not willing to pay for themselves. So I really would like women to hear about this information before they're even pregnant or when they're pregnant, so they have an opportunity to potentially prevent or mitigate some of the issues that are very common afterwards, but also that women have access to the professionals like pelvic health physiotherapists. And as you say, it's never too late. So even if you're thinking, well, I had my babies 20 years ago, or even if you've never had babies and now you're in menopause and things are starting to change.
Kim, how does it make you feel? Like, you're an author, speaker, motivator, pioneer. How does it make you feel to inspire, empower women?
I feel proud. I feel honored to play a role. I feel incredibly humbled, I guess, that when somebody has had a good experience and it's changed an aspect of their life. It's why I'm doing what I do. So I know it's working, and I'm also proud of them because they have taken the steps and they've invested in themselves. They've put themselves first, and they've done the work. And Kegel Mojo, there's exercises, there's workouts, there's education videos. You have to do what is in the program.
And the program that you offer has educational videos.
The videos I'm teaching about exercise, about movement, about what might have contributed to some of the challenges other than pregnancy and childbirth. I talk about, or I talk with other experts in the field. There's a urogynecologist. There's another woman who's dealing with pelvic floor dysfunction and how she lives with it and what she has changed in her life. I have a yoga professional who's also a physiotherapist. So there's a bunch of other people who've contributed to it as well, because there isn't just one solution. It's often multimodal, and I want women to be aware of all of the different treatments or therapies or movement practices that can benefit them.
Where do you see yourself in 2 years? This online program, you want to reach thousands of people. That's your objective.
I would love for this to reach everywhere in the world, and for it, again, I want it to become normal. I want it to become everybody, we get gym memberships, or we try the new, latest and greatest fitness craze. I'd like something like pelvic floor fitness and Kegel Mojo programs to be there as just something to add on, and it's not taboo. People don't have to hide.
So there are benefits for a runner too, right? Mm-hmm. That will help.
I have a client who I worked with recently. So she's had irritable bowel syndrome for about half of her life, and she got pregnant. She had her first child. She had a very speedy, kind of didn't go as planned birth, and was having some issues afterwards with continence. Her bowel control had become a little bit worse. She was a runner. She ran every single day, and what she was finding is she was now running inside on a treadmill wearing Depends, because she just couldn't make it to the washroom in time. So I worked with her, and in 4 sessions it was over about 2.5, 3 months or so, she was still running at home because she just psychologically hadn't built up her confidence yet, but she was running out of Depends and she had much more control. And she said, I run faster and I run stronger than I did before I was even pregnant. And that's the beauty. When you can build strength and coordination in your center, in your core, because the pelvic floor is part of the core, it will you can lift heavier, you can move with more ease, you can run faster, you can run farther. Hip pain, knee pain, often those are associated directly with the pelvis.
Kim, what is next for you? You have a lot going on, but what is any other projects?
I'm thinking about creating some sort of almost like a membership, and it would be called the Kegel Club, and people would be able to have new monthly workouts. So what's in Kegel Mojo will remain obviously in there, and that doesn't change. But if I can give people a little bit more dynamic options, I guess, in a monthly program, I'm thinking about that. So that's kind of in the works, and now I just kind of have to settle. I think the last few years I've been writing books, I've been out speaking. Speaking is something that I will absolutely continue, and it's one of my biggest passions. Teaching courses in my other business, Bellies Inc., and just trying to get the word out there.
If people want more information, where can they go about the program, about your books?
Vaginacoach.com is the best way to reach me, and that funnels you everywhere you need to go. There's products, there's services, there's blogs. You can find me on Instagram also at Vagina Coach, and that's where I share daily exercise and kind of motivational tips as well.
And thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate being here. I appreciate your time.
And we'll be right back after this break.